Video number 3, zero hedge. Average U.S. rent. I had to do this after that last video. Average U.S. rent hits all-time high of $1,412. Biggest increase in 18 months. We are peaking. Asset bubbles peaking. Debt peaking. Everything is peaking. Except your flipping paycheck. That's normally not something that peaks. It either stays the same, some cases goes down. Well, you want to stay with the company, we got to cut pay. Oh. This has to end the same way their other ones have always ended. 2008 and 9, bankruptcies, housing crash, you know what I'm saying? Turn of the century, year 2000, we had the tech bubble burst, same kind of a scenario, things crashing, people losing their jobs, retirements, same story. Savings and loan crisis in the 80s, even before that, 1980, the gold thing. And I could go on and on. These things are cyclical, they happen, and you have to prepare for them. But in order to prepare for them, you got to know they exist. You got to know what happened. First of all, history, which they're not going to teach you in school at all. And you got to know, well, what do I do to protect myself? So how high can this rent thing go? Can it go another year? Sure. Could it go 2 years? I mean, sure, it could. Which means housing will also continue up a year and then 2 years. But remember my guy had said, Joe, his guy told him, heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend, REO Speedwagon style, said, Joe, they told me last time the housing market was going to crash. Told me to get out, rent for a few years. Then buy on the cheap. I did. Greatest advice they ever gave me. Joe, they're telling me the same thing now. It's either 2 to 3 years, I think that's what he said. Between 2 and 3 years is what they said. Roughly speaking, 2 to 3 years, we would have another situation like we did in 08. So that puts us right around 2020, maybe 2021. So this little charade of whatever could possibly go for another couple years. Maybe 3. Anyways. With core CPI printing at a frothy 2.4% and the Fed's preferred inflation metric, core PCE finally hitting the Fed's 2% bogey for the first time since 2012, inflation watchers are confused why Jerome Powell's recent Jackson Hole speech was surprisingly dovish, even as inflation threatens to ramp higher in a time of protectionism and tariffs threatening to push prices even higher. But the biggest concern from an inflation basket standpoint has little to do with Trump's trade war and everything to do with shelter costs, especially rent. The single biggest, that is, contributor to the Fed's inflation calculation. It's wasn't that thing on Greece? Inflation calculation emancipation. That was terrible. Just erase that off your memory. Do I have a little flashy light thing in here I can just wipe your memory with real quick? Yeah, kind of. If you good people would mind just take a quick look, if you would, real quick, into this light that I'm holding in my hand here. Let's take a little peek, and in 3 seconds you won't remember anything before that. Ready? Here we go. Oh, whoop. What the? Oh, the phone. Bro, where's mine? Try that again. Oh, there we go. You're done. Memory erased. Camera style. Camera style, baby. Actually, Men in Black style. I just had to erase that nonsense out of your head because I'm not editing this video. Okay? It's a concern because according to the latest report from Rent Cafe and Yardi Matrix, which compiles data from actual rents charged in the 252 largest U.S. cities, fewer than expected apartment deliveries this year increased competition among existing units, pushing up the national average rent by another 3.1%. The highest monthly increase in 18 months to $1,412 in August, an all-time high. Can I just be real with you? You know, I always say they always give a reason. Oil prices are up today because a Pakistani fired a rocket into a non-existent oil line that doesn't produce any oil anymore. We need a reason. Why is the gas high today? Same thing. Why is rent so high? It's the competing apartment complexes haven't been built as fast as they used to. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what it was. Competing new apartment builder. That's what it was. Right. Or as Kevin Hart would say, high rents? Really? The national average monthly rent swelled by $42 since last August and $2 since last month. I gotta go there. $2. I want my $2. Above average numbers of renters renewing leases at the end of the summer and heightened demand from college-age renters also contributed to the rise in rents from this time of the year. The rental market is so hot right now. Perhaps a continued sign that most Americans remain priced out of purchasing a home. That rents increased in 89% of the nation's biggest 252 cities in August, stayed flat in 10% of the cities, and dropped in only 1% of the cities. Compared to Washington, D.C., rents have changed the least. Compared to August 2017. Queens, New York, Las Vegas, and Phoenix rents increased the most in 1 year, while Baltimore, San Antonio, and, quick look surprised, Washington, D.C., rents have changed the least among the nation's largest cities. Let me just tell you something. I still have not edited the freaking video of me going to New York. I need to get busy. Jay Snip, man, why you Pop's tripping, son. You know I wouldn't trip. But I have been tripping. I need to get that video together. It's just compiling all, nothing to edit. Just put them all together and upload the thing. Joe, your trip to New York, man, let's see it. Got to get on that. But point of it was, as I'm going through D.C., like, where is my what hell am I passing through to get to New Jersey and New York? What is it? D.C. What does it stand for? Dump can? Washington Dump Can? District of Columbia. No, Dump Can. I like that better. Here are the main highlights for large, mid-size, and small markets. Renter mega hubs. The largest increase were in Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Manhattan, Washington, D.C. What didn't it just say increased the most in 1 year while changed the least? Whatever. Well, I guess that's why D.C.'s last, 2.1%. Saw some of the slowest growing rents in this category. The biggest net changes were felt by renters in Los Angeles, which pay $102 more per month this August compared to just a year ago. $100 a month more. Just nothing changed. Year went by. Did you make $100 raise? No. Oh, sorry about that. Large cities, rents in Queens and Charlotte surged by 8.4% and 5.2% respectively, but barely move in Baltimore, 0.2%, and San Antonio, 1.5%. Tampa, mid-sized cities, Mesa, 6.9%, Tampa, 6.4%, and Sacramento, 5.5%. Rents increase at the fastest pace. At the other end of the spectrum, rents only ticked up in Virginia Beach, 1.4%, Albuquerque, 1.7%. Small cities, due to limited stock and high demand, Lancaster and Reno, rents soared by 9.7% and 11.3% respectively. Apartment prices in Midland, 31.9%, Odessa, 30%, are over $300 per month more expensive than 1 year ago in August. Brownsville, minus 2%, and Baton Rouge, like Dr. Evil would call it, minus 0.7%, saw rents decrease over the past year. Orlando's fast-growing rents outpaced the nation's largest renter hubs. There's a little more to this article. Actually, there's a lot more to this article. Holy crap. I'll go ahead and cut it short, send you the link in case you want to read the rest of it. The title says it all. Average U.S. rent hits all-time high. I have a little bit of feeling, and I'm not talking about, was it Herbie Hancock, or what was it? I always feel like somebody's watching me. What's that guy's name? Kirby, wasn't Herbie Hancock. Whatever. I have a feeling like when I go do, if we go and do this little treasure hunt. Here's the thing. I want you to think about this. Let's say we find something. Even if it's not massive, but you find something and it's worth something and it makes you extremely excited, like, oh my God, I got bit by the gold bug and I'm never the same again. That kind of thing. It could be possible that, oh, my mom said we were moving. That's right. Hey, Evelyn, let's move to such and such state. So we can now, even family trip time, get a couple of off-road vehicles, some side-by-sides, four-wheelers, whatever the hell we need, to go join my buddy Joe, the movie guy's buddy, the Indian guy, and go surf every weekend. Hey guys, you want to go do some exercise, family time? Let's go. We just moved out here, and now we're going to go on the weekends to go hunt for treasure. I thought, you know, I wonder if, could I move out to a place? Well, why not? If I end up quitting my day job, which again, it's on the record that I will be quitting at some point here, not too distant future. My guy Mike is handling business. He's doing very well. He's doing very good. They don't need to be paying for two of us, to be honest with you. But point is, I do YouTube videos at that point. I have Patreon. Thank you, Patreons. Love you guys. Love you. Anybody that joins my Patreon, you are helping me get paid. I love you. You're like my employer. Hey, employer. Love you guys. But because it's that kind of thing, I can go anywhere. I could live anywhere. I'm thinking, imagine doing that crap. Filming it, uploading. Here's something we found, guys, you know. Like, exciting, man. Might make me move somewhere. Who knows? But it just hit me as I was reading this for some damn reason. So I felt like talking about it for a second. And my Patreon link, by the way, it's always in my videos in the description box. I always put it there. So I'll link this for you if you want to read the rest of the article. Again, the point's been made. We're getting close to the peak. We're at the peak. We've hit the peak. I mean, we're there. Another year or two, you know what I'm saying? And again, if I can play my cards right, we go and do this thing. Now, oh my God, we definitely want to move. This is beautiful. We love it. Done deal. Sell the house here. Mom, you were right. We're moving. Blah, blah, blah. See ya. And I had somebody come over after John Kim left my house, Litecoin Foundation, John Kim, the same day, Saturday. Another guy who's an airline pilot for a very long time said, Joe, I'm coming in. I'll be near Tampa Hotel. Man, I'd love to maybe, you know, take you out to lunch or something, just chat for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, he's left. My wife and them were about to go to the mall or something. I'm like, oh, this is perfect timing. Dude, I'll come pick you up. Cool. So I go and pick him up. We go get one of my favorite spots for barbecue. Boom. Oh, my scuba tank, they've certified. It's good to go. They hydroed it. We go pick that sucker up. Let's roll. Go back to the house, hang out, talk. He's sitting there. We're just chatting for a little bit, and it hits me. Hey, call your mom. Dude, you want a reading? My mom. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Mom, you want to do a reading? Can you come over? Yeah. All right, cool. She comes over. Gives him a reading. He's got it all on paper. He's like, Joe, the first several things out of her mouth are like happening right now. So she's picking up on all this stuff. And I said, and you know, I couldn't have told her that, right? Because the whole time, even though you did tell me a couple of those things, we were side by side in the car, and I wasn't exactly on my phone talking to anybody, right? He's like, you know, I mean, not that he didn't trust me, but he's like, I know, that was crazy. And so she told him some things, and he was really excited. I don't know why I'm getting into this right now, but so I have a subscriber that came a while back also, who went on a nice little tour across the country. My mom read to him, and unfortunately had a little bit of a close encounter with the hospital. Hey Joe, posted September 2nd. He's been sending me pictures on his journey across America, pictures and family time. I love it. Joe, your mom predicted I would be in the emergency room twice this year, but it would not necessarily be for me. Unfortunately, she was right. A few days ago, we camped in Red Lodge, where we then went over to Beartooth Pass on the way to Cody, Wyoming. The drive was awesome when we reached the snow-covered summit at around 11,000 feet. After we arrived in Cody, Wyoming, my son Anthony got very ill with a fever, headache, vomiting, and absence of mind. Nonsensical speech. We took him to the Cody Hospital. Based on his symptoms, they were concerned it could be meningitis. He got a CT scan and they extracted some spinal fluid. He He voluntarily, so they had to force that thing down his, you know what? The spinal fluid test revealed no meningitis, but the CT scan revealed what appeared to be a blood clot. They added a staining chemical to his blood, reran the CT. Second CT revealed inflamed blood vessels, blah, blah, blah. Sent the images to a specialist. He urgently needed to be air evacuated to Swedish Medical Center. So, unfortunately, my mom was right again. You're going to be visiting someone in, emergency room visit. So that was interesting because she was right. He did, in fact, have to do it. His truck broke down partially. He sent me pictures. I mean, he's got his kid in a stretcher. I'm looking at him right now. I'm not going to share him with you, but crazy, scary. But the kid's okay. He recovered. They're not sure what it was. He's back to normal, like everything was good. And he said, Joe, I got traveler's insurance when we decided to come. As long as I'm back by I think the 5th or 6th of this month, he's like, I'm covered. So we're going to go back, and then we're going to replan and come back a little bit later. So he's covered medical expenses. He's another crypto guy. I mean, like, not a YouTuber, but he's into it heavy duty. And he helped me a couple times last year get into some, like, obscure cryptos as a group to get a bigger discount. It's like way earlier last year. And then some of these things were up 5-6 times. I'm like, whoa, sell off. And, it's like with the Veritasium days. And I never met him. And I, like, sent him, like, 20 ETH one time to get in on some of these. I'm thinking, wow, did I just do that? Hopefully this guy doesn't screw me. And he absolutely did not. And hooked me up. So, he's that guy, anyways. I just wanted to share that story with you. Pretty interesting. And but when this guy was here Saturday, Chris, we'll call him. My mom, he was pretty amazed at what my mom told him because she had already picked up on a bunch of stuff, and so he was pretty excited. I'm not going to get into details, but him and his wife have a lawsuit pending on a malpractice kind of a thing, them against the doctor group or whatever, and he had told me how they actually fought it with like a common law way thing. It was really interesting, but she told him, I see paperwork's being signed and that whatever you're going to, like, you'll win, basically. They'll agree to it or whatever. So he told me the amount, what they're asking basically for, and sounds like they're going to get it. So he was excited that that's, about to possibly get a nice lump sum because of this malpractice that happened to them. Anyways, she picked on all that stuff. It was so cool. But that is way the hell different than what I started this video about. But you know me. Sometimes I get into something, a little sidetracked, tell you, let me tell you a little story. Oh, and that story reminds me of another story. Let me tell you that one. And that's where it ends, my friends. Take care.